the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Rise and shine, it's your time. Skill up, raise the climb. Navigate, innovate. It's your fate, don't be late. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay.
If you're a new manager or hoping to be a new manager, join us in our exploration into what managers need to know. This program will set you up for success by building your knowledge and confidence in the skills you need to be effective. Hello, and welcome to our first session of What Managers Need to Know, Negotiation Skills, Getting to Yes. There are 5 steps in getting to yes, and we are going to devote each session to one of those steps. We separate the people from the problem. We focus on interests, not positions. Invent options for mutual gain. If we're not able to do that, we insist on objective standards. And if we're not able to do that, we keep our BATNA, our best alternative to a negotiated agreement, in our hip pocket. So welcome. When we talk about win-win negotiation, it's a process in which 2 or more parties seek to decide an issue jointly so that both come out better than they would without negotiating. So we are not talking about the classic negotiation that you see on the movies where people are coming in with very firm positions and it's win-lose. I'm going to win. I'm going to take as much of the pie as possible, and I don't care how you feel. That's not what win-win negotiation is about, and that's why it's called getting to yes. For the best negotiation, both parties maximize their payoffs. The joint decision is better than what either party could produce alone. The parties are likely to comply with the agreement, so nobody's leaving grumbling afterwards and then going to sabotage what the agreement was. The relationship between the parties is enhanced, and the negotiation costs minimum time, money, and stress. In our last sessions, we were looking at conflict management strategies, and collaboration was actually win-win negotiation, where we're concerned with the goal and we're also concerned with the relationship. We want to achieve our goal. We also want to retain an amicable relationship. So again, these are the fundamental steps in a win-win negotiation. Step 1, we separate the people from the problem. Step 2, we focus on interests, not positions. Step 3, we invent options for mutual gain. Step 4, we insist on objective standards. And step 5, we keep our BATNA, our best alternative to a negotiated agreement, in our hip pocket. So we're going to look at separating the people from the problem. Negotiators are people, and people problems often arise in negotiation, and this is frequently due to misunderstanding or distrust resulting from real or perceived past interactions that were negative. A negotiator needs to maintain a working relationship good enough to produce an acceptable agreement if one is possible given each side's interests. It's very important to be able to set aside past history and depersonalize individual differences in order to establish the objectivity necessary for effective collaborative problem solving. If we have negative history with someone, it's very easy for that to plump down between the two of us and make it very difficult for us to work through something in a rational, objective fashion. So we have to do our best to set it aside. And that begins by recognizing that it exists at all. We are much more likely to establish a trusting relationship with the other person if we speak their language, packaging our message in such a way to increase the probability that it will be received as we intended it to be. We also are much less likely to personalize the interaction if we understand and anticipate that different behaviors are characteristic of different personality types. Let's look at the case of the electrical contractor. John has just built a new house and he has decided that he wants to finish the basement. He would like to use the same contractors who worked on the rest of the house in order to ensure consistency and quality. The problem is with the electrical contractor, Sharon. John had selected Sharon to do the original electrical work after checking out other electrical contractors and reviewing their bids. Sharon's bid was lower than the other contractors, and she came highly recommended. So as a result, John had hired her and had been very satisfied with the quality of her work. Unfortunately, John is aware that Sharon feels she grossly underbid her work on the house. Sharon has complained that she ended up spending a lot more time than she had originally anticipated in her bid. John has no reason to argue this point. He observed that Sharon is a very conscientious person, paying great attention to every detail in order to do a quality job, which is, of course, what he wants. As a result, the work had taken longer than either of them had originally anticipated. Sharon honored her contract and completed the work for the original bid, but she had voiced her regret over the situation more than once. So now we're at the situation where John wants to continue the work in the basement. But when Sharon submits her bid to complete the electrical work in the basement, the amount is very high. John believes that Sharon has inflated her price to make up for her loss on the prior work. When John tells Sharon that her estimate seems high, Sharon gets very defensive. She denies inflating the price. She also indicates that this is now a very busy time of the season for electrical contractors. The season and the demand for her rate set her rate at a higher price. John would like to use Sharon's services, but he does not want to pay what he feels is an inflated price. So Sharon is defensive. He's rather upset, if not angry, at the inflated price. So we need to separate the people from the problem. What are issues and concerns from their past history? We've got John who wants her, Sharon who assumably wants the job, but her price is much higher, her bid is much higher than he expects. So John knows that Sharon grossly underbid the original project, that the work took longer than he anticipated, and he feels somewhat guilty about that. Not that he did that intentionally, but he knows that she got a raw deal. Sharon is frustrated that she underbid the project. She spent more time than she anticipated, and she feels used and also defensive at this point. Next week, we will look at how to focus on interests, not positions. So what we will do to help John and Sharon get over this hump, if it's possible to do so. If you would like help in learning how to negotiate, please schedule time to talk using this nice QR code. Next week, as I mentioned, we'll focus on interests, not positions, to see if we can get them past their impasse. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you so much for coming and participating in our discussion of what managers need to know. You can find the videos of this and previous sessions on my YouTube channel or under events on my LinkedIn profile. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Oh, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Yeah. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost.